tell us what the Equality Act would do and what specific protections that we have now would be affected by it.
Well, I think the Equality Act, what we need to understand and know about the Equality Act is it's just another tool that they're actually trying to use to try and implement SOGI laws, which are sexual orientation and gender identity laws, to protect them as if they are, actually I think they're trying to implement them in the Civil Rights Act. So trying to implement them, enforce them, trying to compare them as if they are the same. Well, if we go back to the Civil Rights Act, that was oftentimes based in characteristics that are immutable,
right,
that cannot be changed. Our skin tone, our nationality, those are things that are fixed. Our skin tone, our eyes, I mean, if I said, you know what, for the next 30 seconds, let's just really try real hard to change those things. No matter how long I were to give you, you cannot change that. But they're trying to say that it's the same thing when it comes to sexual orientation and gender identity, and we just know that's not true. But the danger is the implications of that. One of the consequences and who it can actually impact are even students. Number one, anyone who expresses dissent, first and foremost, is seen as hostile, a bully, or even bigoted. But we also see this now in the sports arena, where this will allow young men to not only use the locker room if they identify as a female, but it also then allows them to have an advantage in the arena of athletics, because men and women are made differently. And therefore, they're going to perform differently. So when you allow, as we're already seeing right now in the news, where you have males running on the female track team, well, guess who's probably going to win? And that is simply because men and women are different. We shouldn't apologize for those differences, nor should we try and erase those differences.
The Civil Rights Act does protect people based on sex. So the Equality Act is designed to redefine the definition. Is that it?
Absolutely.
Including sexual orientation and gender identity as part of the protected class in the Civil Rights Act. Is that it?
Yes, it's definitely trying to do that. It's actually trying to muddy those waters and erase those lines of distinction and trying to redefine gender to include transgenders.
So let's apply that to real world situations. Some we've already seen in recent years. Public accommodation laws. You're going to have to be careful on what you do with everything from renting a room to providing professional services that you do for the general public, a little bit like our Christian friends, the bakers, the photographers,
Absolutely.
and the florists, who've been hauled before governing bodies and sanctioned for their refusal to participate in a ceremony that they believe violates their Christian convictions. But the Civil Rights Act, basically, if this is modified in this way, it really does away with freedom of conscience.
Yes,
Explain
that's
that.
actually what's at stake, is freedom of conscience, because that also means, for example, physicians who do not, whether it's a psychologist or even surgeons or doctors who treat those like maybe adolescents. What if there is an adolescent and you're a pediatrician who comes in and this young adolescent actually wants to have an operation where they are now becoming trans? That means that physician no longer has freedom of conscience to say, well, wait a minute, I do not actually want to prescribe hormones to try and help this person change over, nor do I want to perform surgeries. But especially even when it comes to the hormone aspect of prescribing medication, that freedom of conscience then is actually, it's silenced. Now you no longer have the right to say, well, wait a minute, because of my faith, because of what it is that I believe, I'm not comfortable doing this. Well, with the Equality Act, it actually does not have the clause that allows for freedom of conscience.